My name is Stefanie Wenninger, and I'm the founder of Pine Peak Productions, and this is the Power of the Podcast. Hey, adventurers! If you're listening today, you're probably ready to take your podcast to new heights. Interviewing guests is like setting off on an expedition. You never know exactly what you'll discover. But with the right preparation and mindset, you'll uncover insights that could change the trajectory of your show. But here's the thing, just like any adventure, the journey with your guests needs to be mapped out. The way you approach booking, interviewing, and following up will determine whether your guest interviews adds real value to your podcast or falls flat. Today, I'm going to walk you through the best practices for making your guest interviews memorable and impactful. Think of this episode as your guidebook for navigating the art of interviewing. So buckle up. It's time to dive in. All right. Number 1, finding the right guest for your journey. Let's start with the foundation of any successful guest interview, the guest themselves. Choosing the right guest is like picking the perfect adventure guide. You wouldn't head into the mountains with someone who knows nothing about climbing, right? The same applies to podcasting. Your guest needs to align with your mission and audience, but also bring something fresh to the table. Here's how you can find your ideal guest. Look for strategic alignment. It's not just about getting the most famous name you can find. Instead, focus on guests who share your podcast and your business's values and goals. If your podcast focuses on entrepreneurship, don't just bring on anyone who runs a business. Think about what your audience craves. Are they looking for tips on scaling, leadership advice, marketing hacks? Your guest should provide expertise in specific areas and specific pain points. Evaluate reach and influence. Sure, we'd all love to interview big names, but often the mid-level experts, those who are on the rise, but not inundated with interview requests, are more likely to deliver fresh content and promote the episode to their own engaged audience. Don't just consider their expertise, but also look at their ability to drive new listeners your way. Go for variety. Think of your guest lineup as a series of adventures. Some might be high-stake treks, while others are more exploratory. Mix it up. One week, bring on an industry veteran who can share war stories from the front lines. The next, feature a rising star who challenging conventional wisdom. This balance keeps your audience on their toes, making them more likely to tune in regularly. Number 2, prepping for the expedition. Once you've booked a guest, the adventure is just beginning. Imagine heading out into the wild without packing the essentials. The same goes for your interview. You need to be well prepared, or you might miss golden opportunities to extract valuable insights. Here's how to prep for success. Dive deep into research. Don't settle for skimming your guest's LinkedIn bio. Dive deep. Listen to past interviews they've given, or read their recent blog posts or articles. Check out their social media to see what topics they're passionate about. The more you know, the more tailored your questions can be. And you won't be asking the same questions that they've been asked 1,000 times on 100 other podcasts. Create a roadmap of those questions. Have a plan, but also be flexible. Start with icebreaker questions. Think of those as your base camp, where everybody gets comfortable. Then structure your questions to gradually dive deeper into their expertise. These are your checkpoints along the trail, guiding you toward the big moment. You reach the top of the mountain. Now, prepare to go off script. Some of the most interesting questions happen when you follow an unexpected path. Be ready to pivot if your guest says something intriguing. Think of it as finding a hidden trail that could lead to even more valuable content. These are some of the best conversations, so make sure you're listening. Number 3, navigating the conversation. Now that you're sitting across from your guest, virtually or in person, it's time to embark on the adventure. A successful interview is like a well-paced journey. It's not a sprint to the finish line. It's about taking your time to uncover the gems along the way. Here's how you can master the conversation. Start with easy, welcoming questions. This helps your guest get comfortable and sets the tone for a natural and flowing conversation. These softballs are the stretches before the real climb. They also give you a chance to gauge your guest's energy and adjust your style accordingly. Go deeper as you go along. Once your guest is warmed up, dig into the good stuff, the challenging questions that get them to share deeper insights and stories. Don't be afraid to ask tough questions, especially if it can add value to your audience. This is where you really get to show your expertise as an interviewer and in your industry. Some of the best interviewers are great because they listen more than they talk. Stay present, listen carefully, and follow the natural flow of conversation. If your guest has something interesting that wasn't in your plan, take that detour. It's like coming across an unexpected vista on your hike you didn't plan, but it's just too beautiful to ignore. Number 4, post-interview relationship building. Once the interview is done, it's not the end. It's just the beginning of a long-term relationship. Think of this stage as setting up your base camp for future adventures. Building strong connections with your guests can open doors for future collaboration, joint projects, and also referrals. Here's what to do after the mic is turned off. Send a personalized thank you. A simple thank you can go a very, very long way. Send a personalized note or an email referencing a specific moment from the interview that stood out to you. This not only shows you are fully engaged, but also makes your guests feel super appreciated. Make the episode easy to share. You want your guests to promote the episode, right? So make it effortless. Provide them with ready-made graphics, quote cards, episode links to their audience. If they have to do the legwork, they might not promote it at all. But if you provide everything up front, it's an easy click of the button. All I would do is do a Google Doc, put all of your stuff in there that you're already going to share, and send the link off to them. It's as easy as that. And then remember, stay connected. Don't let the relationship end when the interview ends. Keep the doors open for future collaborations. You can invite them back for future episodes, co-host a special series, or even partner on other business adventures. Each guest is a potential ally on your podcasting adventure and your business adventure. So there you have it, your adventure map for mastering guest interviews on a business podcast. We've covered how to choose the right guest, prepare for the interview, navigate the conversation, and keep the relationship going afterwards. Whether you're just starting out or looking to refine your guest interview process, these tips will help you create episodes that captivate your audience and build long-term value. And remember, if managing guest interviews feels like too much of an uphill climb, we're here to help. At Pine Peak Productions, we take care of everything from guest outreach and research to post-interview promotion. You focus on what you do best, delivering amazing content that resonates with your audience or your business. Let's chat about how we can support your podcasting journey and help you scale your show to new heights. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and keep pushing your podcast forward. Your next big adventure is just around the corner. Thank you so much for listening. If you found this episode valuable, be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who's been thinking about launching their own podcast. I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions. So please follow me on social media and drop me a message. It's Pine Peak Productions, absolutely everywhere. You can also email me at info@pinepeakproductions.com. Until next time, keep exploring new ways to grow your brand and happy podcasting.